The Ammonites. The Ammonites were descendants of Lot. And they were known to be an extremely cruel people. There were the Moabites and Ammonites were both descendants of Lot's, but of the two, and both of them were a warring people, but the Ammonites were especially cruel. If you remember in the history of Israel that it was the Ammonites who had come to the city of Israel and said that he would give them peace for an eye, that all the citizens of a city had to gouge out their right eye to have peace. And Saul went in. So they were considered a cruel people. But it just happened that they had an advantage. The fact that the king of the Ammonites was kind to David when he was running from Saul. That he may have been motivated by the fact that he was against Saul more than he was for David, but that was okay because David still honored him, and with all the conquering, he didn't conquer the Ammonites. And of course, that's, I would say, stupid decision to cut off half the beard and to expose part of their body and send them back was throwing away a great advantage they had against a major world power at that time. Well, a couple other things. You may wonder why both sides stopped the war and went home. Well, armies didn't fight battles during the wintertime. There were several good reasons for that. Is the fact that winter was the rainy season, which meant two things. Soldiers were farmers as well. And they had some part of the industry, the agricultural industry, and many of them had to go home and plant, because not only was the rainy season, it was also the planting time. So both sides, the soldiers needed to go home. But it was just more than that. It was the fact that because it was the rainy season, that roads were muddy, and it was hard to move equipment around and get around. So generally speaking, in that part of the world, everyone just didn't fight battles during the winter time. Spring was much better. Stopped raining, and there were crops. So the army could move across on dry roads, but they also had food. Hopefully the food of your enemy. Your fields had grain. And so that's why you have Joab going back and waiting until spring. One little side note here, that when Joab took the battle and went back to the city and fought, that city today is called Ammon of Jordan. It is the capital of Jordan today. Well, come back after you listen to the next story and give me a chance to share some of these insights with you again. I trust you enjoy these little chats. We'll see you next time.